Superheroes haven't always gotten the best treatment when it comes to video games. In the past, we've seen some pretty poor representations of our favorite comic book characters in titles that often feel like they were promotional tie-ins for movies. But these days, with the genre now cinematically dominating on big and small screens alike, video games have upped the ante in their own way, and are giving players of all ages the opportunity to show off their heroics in a much more immersive manner. So today, we're breaking down our picks for the top 10 superhero games that you need to own. We'll be avoiding some of the older titles on this list, instead focusing more so on recent games that have a lot to offer players outside of that nostalgia factor. So with that in mind, let's jump in. Starting us off in at number 10, DC Universe Online. DC Universe Online is an MMO based off of the DC Universe, obviously. Released back in 2011 for PC and PS3 and now available for the PS4 and Xbox One, DC Universe has come a long way since its early days. The game boasts mechanics like crafting and home bases now, and much smoother graphics than it had when it launched. If you're a fan of grinding away to build up your characters and don't mind a limited level cap, then this shared world where you get to create your own original character may be up your alley. In addition to that, there's story-based raids, co-op play, PvP battles, and a whole lot of iconic DC characters to nerd out over. The game has even introduced content that ties into the Arrowverse and other memorable storylines from the comics. It continues to actively update, and now with crossplay, it's better than ever. And at number 9, Marvel Strike Force. Want a superhero game on your mobile phone? Strike Force is a great option. This strategy turn-based game allows you to collect your favorite Marvel superheroes and build various teams to go out on missions to defeat the fictional Ultimates. This one's a complete guilty pleasure of mine too. From campaigns to raids to arena matches against other players, this mobile game is great for Marvel fans and newbies alike. It boasts a ton of different game modes, new characters are constantly being added, and updates allow for characters to be properly balanced. If you prefer more action or RPG style games, this one probably isn't for you. But if you're looking for a fun way to pass the time, it's definitely worthwhile considering it's free. But like most mobile games, there are in-game purchases. Luckily enough, the gameplay isn't reliant on it. But recently there has been a lot of criticism surrounding the game and how certain characters are becoming more difficult to unlock without buying into the microtransactions that seem to be getting increasingly more pricey. The devs seem really committed though, so maybe they might axe that. Here's hoping. And at 8, Beautiful Joe. Beautiful Joe is the only game on our list that features a character that isn't from the DC or Marvel universes, and it's also the oldest game on our list. A side-scrolling beat-em-up video game for the GameCube developed by Capcom, its story follows a fellow named Joe, who's an avid moviegoer. His girlfriend is kidnapped during a movie featuring his favorite superhero, which results in Joe being thrust into Movieland to rescue her and take on Jado, the villainous group behind it. He transforms into the tokusatsu-style persona Beautiful Joe, and the action begins. Beautiful Joe was critically adored, and critics called it a completely original and highly entertaining work of art, and that the gameplay and cel-shaded graphics of the game were outstanding. If you're a fan of side-scrollers and high-intensity action, it's definitely a title for you to check out. While it was originally developed for the GameCube, it's gone a few ports over the years, and you'd likely be able to find a version of it online for an emulator. Up next at 7, Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. This was the first Lego game to really up its, well, game. An open world with dialogue now included, it was the first of the Lego superhero games that really took it up a notch. It allowed you to fully explore Gotham City. You could play as iconic Batman characters and other DC superheroes too, with 75 different playable characters available. So why play Batman 2 rather than 3? Well, it's a really good jumping off point for the Batman Lego games, without having to sacrifice graphics or more refined game mechanics. It's also a good entry point for those unfamiliar to the kinds of gameplay that you should expect from Lego games. It's a great way of determining whether or not it's a franchise for you. The series has also led to a spin-off, Lego DC Supervillains, in which you get to play as a huge selection of DC baddies and customize your own. Another title that should be on your list of what to buy in the near future if you're a fan of the Lego titles. Speaking of Lego, in at 6, Lego Marvel Superheroes. From DC to Marvel, we have yet another Lego title on this list. Released a handful of years after our previous number in 2017, Lego Marvel Superheroes is currently the best-selling Lego video game of all time. It essentially features the same kind of gameplay as the other Lego titles, except with Marvel characters and Marvel storylines. With 180 playable characters, each with their own unique ability, it offers a vaster Lego universe than its predecessors. Plus, many of the characters are modeled after their MCU counterparts, which is pretty neat. There's even a little Stan Lee cameo in the game. In the mission, Stan Lee in peril. Oh, Stan Lee, how adorable. Moving on to number 5, Marvel Powers United. Marvel Powers United is the first mainstream attempt at venturing into the superhero genre in VR. With 18 characters to choose from, you can play as a slew of iconic heroes, running around and taking out foes in ways that, prior to VR technology, could only have ever been dreamed of. It's a gorgeous game, offers co-op, and the combos are super fun to compete complete. Overall, the game has a lot of potential, but currently it's a bit repetitive in terms of gameplay and in its rewards. But that being said, it is one hell of an experience. And considering it's so brand new, there's hope that over time more updates will diversify the missions and individual performances of each of the characters that you can control. Currently, the character roster is a bit lacking in varied mechanics, but if you're playing as the Hulk or Spider-Man, characters with a really definitive ability, it does offer up a ton of entertaining fun. Moving on to 4, Injustice 2. Injustice 2 is a great title for those of you who love fighting games. While Injustice Gods Among Us was also a fantastic fighting game, Injustice 2 boasts a whole new plethora of new characters to fight as, updated game mechanics, and something called the Gear System, which rewarded players with costume pieces and equipment that you could use for your own custom character. The sequel title incorporates more multiplayer shooter mechanics and more of an RPG-style progression system, and while it's an overall improvement, it still has a bit of a lackluster story, much like the first. That being said, if you're looking for a solid fighting game with stellar graphics, Injustice 2 can scratch that itch for you. Moving on to a much heftier title in at 3, Batman Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum revolutionized the superhero genre in video games. Developed by Rocksteady, it was an action-adventure RPG Batman game set inside Arkham Asylum, where Bats is forced to fight his way through all of the inmates and seize the Joker's master plan. Eerie, spooky, gritty, and a whole lot of fun, it provided Batman fans the kind of third-person POV game that they had been begging for years, and it was really good. The combat and stealth abilities were fantastic, and players had to use Batman's detective abilities and gadgets to solve puzzles along the way. Inspired by the works of Neil Adams, Frank Miller, and Grant Morrison, it was a worldwide success, and when it was released, it was called the greatest comic book game of all time. Even though it came out in 2009 and it may be dated for some of your liking, it's still considered to be up there with the best of the best superhero games available on modern consoles. Up next at 2, Spider-Man. The Insomniac Spider-Man game is one of the most highly anticipated games of this year, and at the time of this recording, the game actually hasn't been released yet. But for those of you watching in a world where the Spider-Man game is out, I am currently jealous, but also yay, and this is definitely still a relevant number. Similar in mechanics to the Batman Arkham series, it's an open world game that borrows the successful gameplay formulas of other open world RPGs, but provides a satisfyingly unique Marvel experience. You play as Peter Parker, swinging around a lively and always evolving city, facing off against some of the hero's biggest foes, all while retaining aspects of the character that comic fans have adored for years. You're not just playing as Spider-Man the hero either, you get to play as Peter Parker in his regular normal day life, which really explores the duality of the character, and also as Mary Jane too. It's been hailed for its pacing, graphics, and grounded action, and for fans of the comics or the MCU films, there's a whole lot of recognizable Easter eggs hidden throughout the game, despite the fact that the game is removed from all of the other previous Marvel universes. And it's pretty accessible for players unfamiliar with the Spider-Man mythos too. PlayStation exclusive, it's a hell of a reason to jump ship over to Sony, and it's by far the best video game representation of the web-slinger yet. And finally, in at number 1, Batman Arkham City. While Arkham Asylum revolutionized the superhero RPG subgenre, Arkham City took it to a whole new level. A sequel to Asylum that improved upon the first game's mechanics, it received major critical acclaim and won itself a ton of awards, often being considered one of the greatest video games of all time. Its narrative and writing is superb, its adaptation of the characters and voice acting is on point, the graphics, world designs, and combat and navigation mechanics are smooth and accessible, and it's got a killer soundtrack. In the main storyline, you play as Batman, trapped inside Arkham City, which is an enclosed super prison within the decaying slums of Gotham City, in which Batman must prevent Hugo Strange from carrying out his Protocol 10 plan. It features pretty much every memorable character in the Batman mythos, and of course, the Joker makes a reappearance, making up for his painful boss battle in Arkham Asylum that many a critic and a fan panned. Written by Batman comic veteran Paul Dini, along with Paul Crocker and Sefton Hill, the game features the voice talent of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as Batman and the Joker, and it's so darn good. Arkham City is the perfect game for anyone who's a Batman fan, anyone who loves open world action RPGs, and anyone who loves beating down on criminals but also enjoys solving a sophisticated riddle or two. Alright, there you have it friends, which of these games on our list have you played? Which ones do you want to try? And what other superhero games do you think we should have mentioned? Give us a shout in those comments below with all of your thoughts. If you dug this video, hit that like button, and subscribe to Top 10 Gaming for more lists, news, updates, and videos. Plus be sure to join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 PM Eastern Time for our live stream, where you can catch myself and Lucy McPhee playing some great superhero games. Or we'll be playing some great superhero games. We're playing one specific superhero game coming up. It's gonna be pretty rad. So come on over. In the meantime though, thanks for watching guys. I'll catch you all in the next video.